Hello everyone, my name is Dutho Suh Utomo. I am from Industrial Engineering, Kasetsart University, Thailand. I will present our paper with the title Determinants of Donation Intention on Flood Disasters in Indonesia. I begin with an introduction consisting of three parts, namely floods in Indonesia, previous research, and objectives. Indonesia has some natural threats, including earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruption, floods, and droughts. Flooding is one type of disaster often occurs in Indonesia. During 2018, there were 679 flood events that occurred in every province in Indonesia. For 5 years, flooding was the most frequent disaster in Indonesia, with a total of 4,328 incidents. In 2018, flooding has caused 119 deaths or missing, 2,021 injured, 1.4 million affected, and 4,220 damaged houses. Floods often occur repeatedly in the same areas in Indonesia and sometimes have a large loss impact. For example, floods even in Belitung were recorded losses of around $23.99 million, and in Garut, losses were around $20.45 million. In 2019, there were still several major flood events in various regions in Indonesia, one of which occurred in Samarinda in June, which affected around 35,000 people. Therefore, donation is needed to reduce the suffering. So that this study will look at the intention of donation that are expected to be a decision to make a donation. There have been several studies conducted in the field of donation. Some of them use theory of planned behavior, or TPB, to investigate the effect of each factor on the donation decision. The TPB suggests three determinants of donation intention, namely attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavior control. The theory is based on consideration of people which is reasonable and uses information that may be possible systematically. People determine the implication of their action before they make a decision regarding to the certain behavior. Some studies on donation decision use a variety of attitudes, such as attitudes towards advertising, attitude towards helping others, attitude towards charitable organization, and attitude towards donation. The difference in characteristics of each disaster that occurred, such as a number of deaths, affected the amount of donation received. This implies that natural disaster impact, for example, number of deaths, could influence the decision to contribute for the victims. In our paper, the factors were included in the list of factors that influence intention to donate to flood disaster. In this paper, we aim to propose a framework factor that influence donation intention toward flood disaster by adapting the TPB which includes some attitudes and natural disaster impact, and then testing the relationship of the framework with structural equation modeling or SEM. This study used the simple random sampling data collection technique which were distributed online to a large number of Indonesians. The questionnaire used a 1 to 5 Likert scale with indicators that adapted from several previous studies, which can be seen in detail in the table 1 to 8. The number of responses in this study was 200. Maximum likelihood with a robust standard error estimator was used to overcome data that were not normally distributed. Confirmatory factor analysis, or CFA, was carried out to measure how well each endogenous variables were explained by the exogenous variables. SEM was finally applied to investigate and to confirm the proposed framework. The proposed framework model is shown in Figure 1. All latent variables in the framework are summarized in Table 1 together with their reference. The JFA technique with measurements of convergent validity, namely standardized loading factor, constructability, and average variance extract, were applied. Table 9 shows the result of the three values for each variable. In this table, all variables pass the criteria. This implied the convergent validity was achieved. Table 10 shows the goodness of fit criteria of the SEM. These measures were used in some literatures. The result in the table show that all criteria have passed the cutoff values. There were two direct relationships that did not have a significant effect, which were the relationship between the natural disaster impact and donation intention, and the relationship between perceived behavior control and intention. For indirect relationship, there was a relationship that was not significantly related, which was the relationship between subjective norms and intention through perceived behavior control. A complete summary of the hypothesis can be seen in this table. In this study, there were three factors that have a significant influence on intention to donation, which were subjective norms, attitudes towards advertising, and attitudes towards charitable organization. And attitudes towards helping others had a significant indirect effect on intention through attitudes towards advertising and attitude towards charitable organization. Perceived behavior control did not have a significant impact on intention to donate, and also natural disaster impact did not affect intention to donate. This might due to the fact that people feel quite indifferent regarding to the magnitudes of flood disasters in terms of donations. Further research could be conducted to explore other factors that could affect intention. The studies regarding to why people feel indifferent about the size of flood disaster can be also be explored. Thank you very much for your attention.